I do, YouTube. So you join me right as I've just come back from a walk. I'm bloody hot. So I wanted to discuss a couple of things today. One thing that's going on this week, and the other one is the future of the channel. Well, I don't know if it was this week or last week, but I believe it's this week, and it's Mental Health Awareness Week. So, I wanted to discuss primarily what that means to me. And it's quite simple, really, to have a week in which mental health is, I can't really say praised, but because no one wants to have it, let's put it that way. Where it's more focused on is, compared to the likes of 20 years ago, pretty extraordinary. I mean, 20 years ago, well, I'd have only been about 2 at the time, so I don't really know if it was a big thing in the 90s. I'll say 2, I'd have been... Why did I think I was 22 for a second? I'm 28. So I'd have been 8, but still I can't remember that far back. But to be able to take this time to think about everyone that suffers, everyone that feels like they're alone, and people that have died and hurt themselves from what mental health issues can do to them. It's horrible. And I mean, I do know what it's like to self-harm. I've done it. I know what it's like to have suicide attempts. I've done it, and they've all failed. Or I've not gone through with it. But to actually sit there and think about the people that have attempted it and it unfortunately took their life, it's still to this day, even if you're thinking about it when it's not even Mental Health Awareness Week, it hurts. It sucks to think about, big time. So obviously, if you don't know by now, given the title of the channel, I am diagnosed with complex post-traumatic stress disorder, which is the stage above normal military PTSD and one stage below borderline personality disorder. And the two, both borderline personality and complex PTSD, are quite similar, quite often misdiagnosed from one to the other because their symptoms are so in sync with each other. There are differences though, and it was the differences that I was diagnosed with what I'm diagnosed with. So, it generally is a difficult life from time to time. I mean, I won't say every day is difficult because some days are alright, other days are worse. So, when I see what other people are going through, especially the ones that have, the more advanced mental health conditions, your bipolar, your schizophrenia, I feel for them just as much as I feel for someone that is simply diagnosed with depression or anxiety, because they are all in their own way painful. But schizophrenia in itself, from what I believe, is the highest you can get and probably the worst, symptomatic wise. I mean, I wouldn't say I'm glad I don't have it, because that would be wrong of me to say, and I wouldn't even think that, but I think about on a regular basis of people that do have it and how they cope with it. Probably about the same as someone that doesn't have mental health issues thinks about how I live with complex PTSD. That's if they're not telling me to snap out of it, because that happens as well. So this week symbolises the people that go through what they do. And for it to be recognised now by the world means a lot, but you always get them people that question it, the ones that don't have mental health issues, that think it's not an important thing. And them people need to take a massive look in the mirror. I mean, years and years and years ago, if you had a mental health problem, you were in a sanatorium and that's where you stayed. Now, we are free people. We can still live a free life because it's understood and controlled more. And you're not just put in a cage. So, the differences between then and now are amazing in so many ways, that we still get to live our lives, that despite feeling like we're not normal, we still are. We still are just as important as anyone else on this planet. We all have a purpose and we all live by our values. And I am grateful that mental health is a hell of a lot more recognised now. And isn't frowned upon anymore. And I think about the journey that I've taken with complex PTSD from the first day that I remember. Because I remember the day it triggered clear as anything for the first time. Because obviously with me, I've built it up since my sexual assault when I was a child. And it's had multiple different triggers until that one day the main trigger made it erupt, and here's where we are today. But I remember that main trigger like it was yesterday, and I am going to do a video on that. Probably this week or next. For the sole purpose that the place, the venue and the event that I went to, in which it triggered, I'm going back to later this summer. And I'm pretty terrified. So, yeah, that's going to be in the next video. Part 2 of what I was going to talk about is where this channel's going forward. Because I don't want to be sitting making videos where I'm doing the same thing, sitting down, looking at a camera, talking about God knows what for 10-20 minutes without any real purpose to the channel of the mental health. So over the next few months I'm going to be involved in a magnitude of different things, and I'm going to be going to multiple different festivals, events, that kind of stuff, and I intend to vlog. And that is where the channel is going. I'm going to start vlogging more out and about so you guys can see what I do. I thought about, gaming and all that kind of stuff, but I didn't want to be the stereotypical YouTuber that gets a hit and then immediately goes to gaming. I want to go in a different direction and show my life. I want to take you around the city I live in and that I adore with all of my heart. So that is what's coming up. But for now, I'm going to end it here. I don't want to make too much of a long video today. But yeah, next video is going to be about my main trigger that started this whole thing off. Alright guys, so happy Mental Health Awareness Week. Take care all of you, and I'll see you soon. Take care, bye bye for now.